Chiefs Kingdom, this is about to get crazy. We got a pre-draft chat, and we're going to give our final mock drafts. Let's freaking go. Ooh, it's here, Mike. The draft is here. It is upon us.
It is here.
After 6 months of talking about it because we sucked last season, the draft is finally here. How's everybody doing tonight? Get on in here. Get on in here. Tell us how you're doing in the chat. We want to see you. Hit that like button for us. Let's get more people in here. Let's have a good little pre-draft party. And we'll talk about these final mock drafts and stuff. That's pretty much what we're going to go over and see how many of them we can get right this year, Mike. It's been a tough one, man. It's a little wild, but I think we both did some pretty deep inner thought about this thing today and just knocked out a final mock draft, right?
Yeah. Speaking of inner thought, I was telling myself all day, like, bro, you are an idiot. Why can't you figure this out? What is Brett Veach doing? Like, what did he have for lunch today? Maybe that'll help me a little bit. Hey, is he regular? Like, is he pooped today? Like, is he going to be grumpy tomorrow? Like, I'm thinking of everything. And it's like, I seriously don't know. Like, this is a weird year. Not only is the draft class just kind of weaker, but it just feels like, I mean, we only got like what? We didn't even get 20 full top 30 visits leaked this year. Everything has been very hush-hush. Mm-hmm. It's just felt very different this year. So we'll see, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Huckleberry, welcome to the crew again. I see you said the membership ran out, but it's all good. You're back. We appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man, so you know what? Real quick, I just want to shout out PrizePicks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. So get down in the description, click that link, use code HMA, which should be right about here, and do that when you're signing up. But yeah, Mike, let's talk about it. Let's get into it, and we'll get into our final mock draft. So this is our predictions on what the Chiefs are going to do tomorrow, or well, the rest of the weekend. But as we go through the picks, we want to know what your opinions are and maybe who you think they're taking at that position. And we also, I want to kind of give you my train of thought on and how we came about this. That way, it's not like I'm just not going to tell you like, hey, I took this player. He's great. He does this. He does that. It's not going to be one of those shows. It's going to be more about this is why I think this is, the pick. So let's go ahead and get into it, Mike. I'll let you clicky, and you can go first or me. Doesn't matter.
You can go first. Go ahead. Here, I'll throw it up for you.
Well, hey, right off the rip, baby. This one might catch you a little sideways. Got Jordan Tyson going to the Chiefs at pick number 9. And here's the thing. I really went back and forth on this because I don't think that they're going to get him at 9 per se. I think they might have to trade up to get Jordan Tyson. And do I think that's what they're going to do? I do. The more I thought about everything, the more I really looked into what Brett Veach had to say in his pre-draft presser. He said a lot, and you have to know what to take with a grain of salt. And you also have to kind of try to predict what's smoke and what's not. And here's my train of thought on this real quick, and Mike, and I'll let you take on to yours. But I think that if you look back at the history of the Chiefs drafts throughout the Patrick Mahomes, Brett Veach, Andy Reid era, they have tried their hardest to get a dominant number one, just take over the game receiver. And they haven't had that since Tyreek Hill, obviously, but they have been throwing darts at it, and it's never quite worked out. The best one they got out of the entire lot was Rashee Rice, a second rounder. And he's still not it, you know what I'm saying? So I think that Jordan Tyson is the best wide receiver in this draft. I think that it got muddied. Everybody started overthinking it, like, oh, the injuries, this and that. It could be Cardinal Tate. Flat out, he's the best receiver in the draft. He's Jordan Jefferson-esque. I think that Brett Veach went to the pre-draft conference and said, we really need, up front. He's talking about everybody knows everybody thinks the Chiefs are getting Reuben Bain or David Bailey. And I think he tried to lead that on a little bit, and I think he was trying to get people off the trail of Jordan Tyson, and he said it depends on the first 5 or 6 picks. I fully believe that the New York Giants might take him at 5. If they don't, that's where Brett Veach might feel the need to go up, make his move, grab Jordan Tyson, or if he falls to 9, he's ours. That's where I'm at with it.
I like it. I don't dislike that pick. I'd posted today that I feel like the Chiefs have a very simple draft board. You can't hardly overthink it, and you can't just sit around at pick number 9 and wait for things to happen. Like if you got a player that you love, you're going to have to go make a move. You're saying that you would do this for Tyson, and you would come up to number 6 if he got past the Giants at 5.
I'm not saying I would do this.
Right, but you're saying that this is what you think the Chiefs will do.
I think that's where their head's at. And like I said, they've been taking shots at this thing, right? And hey, you finally have a chance to where you don't have to take a shot on a guy in the second round. You don't have to take a shot on trading up for a guy in the back in the first round like Xavier Worthy. You can get the best receiver in the entire draft. Hands down.
I think you can. Now, you got to worry about injuries. You're also going to trade up. If you trade up, you're losing a little bit of draft capital to get it.
True.
It doesn't come with like a perfect, knock it out of the park kind of thing. Like there's going to be some worries. So anyways, going back to my simplicity of the draft board, I believe the Chiefs have 3 things on their draft board. Number 1, I believe that they have to get a pass rusher, Bain, Bailey, or Arvell Reese, if you're into that, if you think that's something they're doing. It's those 3. I think that if those last to pick 6, that the Chiefs would consider trading up. Again, I do believe Tyson is their number 1 wide receiver, but you've got to weigh that. It's not over a pass rusher, I don't think, in my opinion. Now, you think it might be, or you think all 3 of those pass rushers were off the board by 6. I don't know what your thought process was. I think defensive end would outweigh Tyson, but I think that right after Tyson, it gets a little weird. I think it could go to an offensive tackle. It could go to Caden Proctor even. Like there's all kinds of stupidity going on.
Well,
but
I also want to throw this in just real quick before we get to your first pick. I have not been shown by this coaching staff, this management team, that they value edge as much as we do. They've showed us year after year that they don't really care that much.
Maybe not, but you have to have an edge.
You do.
And right now they don't have an edge.
You don't have to have the best edge.
Right.
Like, because they've been very adamant about having just good enough.
Right. So they don't have an edge. I'm also hearing today that the Cardinals, if they don't move out of number 3, they're probably going to take, at number 3, they're probably going to take the running back.
Jeremiah Love.
They're going to take Jeremiah Love. And if he gets past number 3, that they don't think Tennessee's passing up Jeremiah Love. And with that being said, I feel like this pick has been mocked to us over and over again, but I feel like it's going to be here. I feel like the Chiefs are going to take Ruben Bain. I've got to go with it. I believe that pass rusher is the number 1 thing on our board. I have said it from the beginning. I think Bain fits the Spags mode better. Reese is fun. I get it. David Bailey's fun. I absolutely get it. In my own heart of hearts, do I think maybe we should go the speed rusher route? Maybe. I mean, we did okay with D Ford. We've had speed rushers. Derek Thomas was a speed rusher. The problem is Spags didn't get fired. Spags still run this defense, and Spags, he has a type. I'm sorry. The same way that the offense and Brett Veach have a wide receiver type, Spags has a type. Now, he's trying to get out of it a little bit. He did move out of it a little bit with Ashton Gelati. He tried it with B.J. Thompson. Brett Veach went out and got Josh Usain, never seen the field. Cam Thomas was a little smaller, never seen the field. So they're trying, but Spags just isn't obliging very much. The reason I went out and grabbed Ruben Bain, Steve, it's simple. I think he's the best pure guy. I think he's one of the only 3 blue chippers in this class. His arms are a little short. I don't care. They were short all the way through college, and he dominated. He's good against the run. I don't think he has to come off the field. He's not just going to be a specialist. Will he get 10 sacks a year? I think he absolutely has that ability. But if he were to get 6 or 7, I don't think that's like anything that would surprise me either. And the thing is like you have to play the hand that's dealt. We need a pass rusher. These are the top 3 in the game. You have to get one. I mean, you can't just be like, well, he's got shortcomings. Everybody in this draft class has a lot of shortcomings, Steve, because this just isn't a good draft class. You've got to take what you're given. I think Ruben Bain's the play.
And I'm calling it quite the opposite. So you guys will see this with his mock draft and my mock draft. I kind of feel like they're not going to play the hand that's dealt, that they're going to try to make their own hand. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But no, Ruben Bain's a safe pick here. I absolutely think that if you were betting on this, Ruben Bain would have to be the bet, right? Just because it fits too well. All the signs are there. All the smoke's been blown. Everything points to Ruben Bain. So I think it would be an excellent pick if they did do that. Shout out Aaron Price becoming a member. And then you know what, Mike? He shared the love, baby. He shared the freaking love. And he gifted out 5 memberships.
Let's go.
Let's go, Aaron Price. Suck it. Suck it. Let's go, man. Let's go on to the number 2 pick. So Brett Veach also said in his pre-draft press conference that if we don't get a tackle before 35, that
Right.
you're not going to get one worth getting. So I have them taking Blake Miller at pick 29 in round 1. This is also a big-time possibility trade-up because Blake Miller has been mocked as high as 18 in this draft. So this could be a space where Brett feels the need to move up a couple places to get his guy. If not, if he falls to us, then so be it. But I think Blake Miller makes the most sense when you start looking at what the Chiefs need on their offensive line. They need a right tackle. This guy is a plug-and-play right tackle. He's got that nasty edge to him like Trey Smith, like Kingsley Suamataia, Creed Humphrey. He fits right in with those guys really well. And even though he kind of looks like Ronald Weasley sometimes, I think that Blake Miller is a badass football player. He's young. He's got all the strength in the world. He's smart. He knows how to play the position. He's technically sound. And like I said, I think out of all the guys in this draft, that Blake Miller is the one that they could take, plug him right in at right tackle as a rookie, and I think we would be upgrading instantly.
Yeah, I like the pick. I really do. I like Blake Miller. You're going to see that I also took a tackle, and I'm not going to go out on a limb and make you worry about it. It's just pick number 29, Caden Proctor. Now, here's what I'll say. I think this is the right spot for Caden Proctor. I absolutely believe Proctor is a middle to late first-round draft pick. I think he's got a lot of shortcomings. I think he whiffs at the upper levels. I don't think his footwork is very good. I don't. There's just a lot of things he doesn't do properly, in my opinion. Now, saying that, I think the Chiefs really love him. I think for a lot of guys out there, he could be the number 1 tackle on their board. We even heard that the Browns are considering Caden Proctor at number 6. If it gets to the Chiefs at number 9, Steve, and this is what I'm going to say about this. People don't like this tackle thing. Like, they just really don't like it. And let me talk about this for just 1 minute. And you see, like, I don't want to change anybody's mind. You see this football team so different than the way I see it, different than the way Steve sees it, different than the way Andy sees it, different than the way Brett Veach sees it, right? Everybody sees it different, and nobody's wrong. Like, nobody's wrong. But here, I try to get in the mind of Brett Veach, and this is what Veach has said about the tackle position, Steve. It's gone by pick 35. We pick 40. So that assumes to me that we have to now take one at 9 or 29. Now, a lot of people say, well, we've got a lot of stuff on the line. We've got a good line. We got a blue chipper last year. Okay, well, he plays one side. You've got to have the other side. Jalen Moore's just not it. Now, did we overpay him and miss him in free agency? Absolutely. But why? Because we were in a position going into free agency that we had to have somebody last year, and there wasn't a lot of good free agents, and we had to overpay him. So I don't think the Chiefs want to get to this next year when there's nobody under contract. I think they're tired of playing the game. They want to fix it. And if they believe that Caden Proctor is worth the number 9 pick in the draft, all the pass rushers are gone, Jordan Tyson's come off the board, maybe even over Jordan Tyson, it would not surprise me that they don't take their number 1 tackle at pick 9. And the reason I say that is because, listen to this. If you take the guy that you like at number 9, let's just say the Browns take somebody at number 9 that's not Caden Proctor, and Caden Proctor is your number 1. Then you got the number 1 tackle in a weak tackle class. You got a guy that you scouted the whole way that you like. You got him at number 9 in a weak tackle class, and now you don't have to mess with it. Now just go load up everywhere else. You've got a guy on the cheap for 5 years. Okay? If you wait past number 9 and you go to 29, and there's a big run on tackles in the middle rounds with the Monroe Freelings and the Blake Millers, you may have to now trade up to the early 20s just to get a Max Ahanichor who's only played football for 5 years. And if, God forbid, he has to step in this year, he's probably going to struggle. Max Ahanichor has only played football for 4 or 5 years. He's got a lot of good intangibles. But are you really willing to trade up and lose more draft capital to get a guy that, if need be, may not even be able to start this year? And now you're relying on Andy Heck to have to develop him his entire career. And that's not always a good thing to think about either. So right. I think when it's all said and done, it does make a lot of sense to take one at 9 if you have to.
Yeah, well, I think Brett made it very clear that it's going to happen before 35, that he's going to hit on tackle before pick 35. So
do you understand what I was saying, though, about the whole you get your best guy, and if you wait to 29, you may have to give up more capital just to get a worst right tackle? Like, that's crazy.
Depending on how they see it, right? Shane with the 5 bomb says, we do need some serious help at right tackle. With Mr. Penalty gone, I don't trust anyone we have to slide over. I don't like it, but it makes sense. Absolutely, Shane. It does make sense. You want to make sure Patrick's well and protected, especially coming off that injury. Plus, you're kind of emphasizing the run game in the offseason with getting Kenneth Walker III, bringing back Eric Bieniemy, DeMarco Murray, talking about how you're going to emphasize the run game some more. So I think they're definitely going to work on the offensive line. Mikey likes stuff with the 2 bombs, says they're taking Fano at 9 all day. I don't know.
That's a possibility, though.
They could. They absolutely could. I feel he feels a bit guardy to me.
I think he's a guard, too. He does not pass our thresholds of arm length.
Yeah.
But in my scenario where I say the Chiefs could take a tackle at 9, if Fano's their number 1 tackle and Fano's on the board, then they got their number 1 tackle. Mm-hmm. If Freeling's their number 1 tackle and Freeling's on the board, they got their number 1 tackle. Why do they want to wait and get their 3rd, 4th, 5th tackle and have to pay more money to get them?
Right.
So, again, I may not agree with Fano, but if the Chiefs sit there and say Fano's their number 1 guy, I may disagree with the entirety of it. But, that's what Brett Veach and them think they need, and it's like I can't really fault it.
Right.
It is what it is. We can sit here and, talk about it, but...
Yep, so just to recap, I took Jordan Tyson at pick number 9, Blake Miller at pick number 29, and I would like to throw this caveat in here real quick, Mike. I forgot to say this when I picked Jordan Tyson, that I think they'll take Jordan Tyson. But I actually think that if I had to pick a different person than Jordan Tyson, I still wouldn't go defensive end. There's something odd to me about the fact that Brett Veach said be prepared for a non-premium position player at number 9. And if you really dig into it, they had a very secretive top 30 visit with Kenyon Sadiq. They kept it super hush-hush.
They also could be playing the game, though, if he were to fall past, say, 15 or 16, they could come get him.
Exactly. So, yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at. So let's go on to round 2, pick number 40. I took edge rusher here. I went ahead and addressed it with Malachi Lawrence at pick 40. So, let me tell you this about Malachi Lawrence. At first, I was like, this guy's a bit underweight. I didn't give him his due, I guess, when I originally did film evaluation and everything. I went back and really watched this guy. I think Malachi Lawrence is one of the best defensive ends in this draft. His pass rush arsenal is just absolutely insane. He's doing way advanced stuff as far as pass rush skills and moves and things like that. This kid's insane. He can still play the run. So that's not a problem. He might be a little underweight, but he still plays the run well. And also, Brett Veach said, all this other stuff he said where it's like, well, we have to have a tackle before pick 25. I like defensive line all the way up to round 4. But one thing that he did say that struck me was, excuse me, every draftable defensive tackle we've had a top 30 visit with. That's what he said.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say it.
He said, we had a top 30 with every draftable defensive tackle. And Malachi Lawrence was one of those. So I know that they talked to probably 5, 6, maybe even more.
That we know, yes.
But when I really watched his tape, Mike, I got really excited about Malachi Lawrence. Just the knowledge of the game, when you watch the way that he rushes the passer, in the way that he sets up tackles, in the way that he completely just tricks tackles and make them look stupid at times, the way he beats them with his athleticism, the way he beats them with strength, there's just no limits with this kid. I think this would be a home run pick at 40. If you got Jordan Tyson, you got Blake Miller, you got that offense wrapped up in the first 2 picks, and then you turn around and got Malachi Lawrence, I'd be ecstatic. I think that might be what they're going to do.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all. You've got your edge rusher. So look, you've got the wide receiver. You've got the best wide receiver in the draft. You've now got a tackle who Blake Miller. I've messed around with my tackles a little bit more. I've now got Blake Miller as my number 4 tackle. He was my number 3. I still like Blake Miller. I think he's good. I think he's nasty. He's got a lot of stuff that he can do well. I like that. And now you've grabbed Malachi Lawrence, who's actually had some first round buzz. If he were to sneak into the first round, wouldn't surprise me. Like, somebody could take a shot on the defensive end.
All 3 of the guys I've taken, all 3 of the guys that I think they're going to take are all possibilities that you would have to trade up from that pick to get them. Every one of them. Right.
So the probability of this working out, probably not good, but we're taking a shot here.
Maybe.
Taking a shot. So look, I've got the edge. Okay. I grab the tackle. I need a wide receiver. Am I going to take Chris Bell?
Now it's time.
No, I don't. I'm going to go ahead and take a surprise pick here. And I know what people are going to say. Trey Dan Stooks, pick 40, round 2. They're going to say, my God, brother, that's high. That's a reach. It's absolutely not.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it for them. I think it's a reach.
Well, that's because you're a slap nut. And number 2, I have been doing a lot of research on Trey Dan Stooks.
He's a beast. Trey
Dan Stooks is starting to get very, very high buzz right now. I think he's going top 50. I don't think you get him at 74. I seen a mock draft today that put him in the first round. He is getting big time buzz. Trey Dan Stooks is a guy that does a lot of good things on the back end. He can tackle, he can cover, he can play the slot, he can play deep.
He's a honey badger.
I just love Trey Dan Stooks, and I think that Spags wants a guy like a Justin Reed or a Honey Badger on his defense. Trey Dan Stooks is a smart, high IQ football player that can do that. He has got a lot of qualities. I think at pick 40, I go ahead and take a guy right now that can get Jamari Conner out of the slot. I'm going to wait on wide receiver. There's one coming. Trust me. It's okay. But we need to mess with this defense, because what could this defense not do last year? They couldn't rush the passer, and they couldn't get nobody off the field on third down. And a lot of it was Jamari Conner and the fact that we couldn't get after the passer. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to fix that. I'm going to fix it. If I'm Brett Veach, I'm fixing it. So Trey Dan Stooks was my pick here at 40. Again, you guys can say reach, and you're very well, you can say it all you want. I don't care. I'm not going by PFF mock draft rankings. I'm not going by everybody else. I'm going by my intel and my rankings. And I think he's going to be a second-round pick. And we can all come back after the draft on Friday and discuss if we'd like. Sure. So,
I mean, you might be spot on. So I kind of had an opposite mentality of you, because I personally feel like the biggest, detriment to the team last year was we couldn't score points. We couldn't keep the offense on the football field. The defense was constantly on the field. So that's why I went Jordan Tyson early. That's why I think that, Mike, you say this about the Chiefs organization all the time. Tigers don't change their stripes.
Right.
And I think that they are going to be offensive-minded, at least for the first part of the draft. And then I think they'll plug all them holes on defense. So let's go ahead and move on to my next pick, and this one's a little bit of a surprise one. This is a trade-up right here. We just took Malachi Lawrence at 40.
And you've traded up to pick 48 with the Falcons.
Absolutely, because Caleb Banks was falling. They had that foot injury. His crew came out today. His team came out and said, hey, this foot injury's been checked by doctors. This is not something that's going to linger. This is not something that's going to be persistent. He's good to go. And why did they do that, Mike? Because they feel the slide coming. They're trying to save face. They're trying to save him a little bit. But he's falling, and guess what? Brett Veach loves Caleb Banks. The Chiefs love Caleb Banks. They have met with Caleb Banks more than any other prospect in the 2026 draft class. Like, they are all over this dude. So Caleb Banks, if he starts falling and he's there, they're going to come up and get him. Brett Veach made it very clear that we have these certain amount of guys that we really like, and if we have to go up and get them, we're going to go up and get them. We're going to get as many of those guys as we can. I just think it makes way too much sense. He said he wanted 2 defensive tackles in this draft. He made that very clear. Caleb Banks will be the first that I take, and I think that Caleb Banks has such a high ceiling, it's unreal. And you're giving yourself a chance at maybe having a replacement for Chris Jones when Chris Jones hangs it up.
Right.
So
I'm not going to dislike the pick. Like, we've been battling over Caleb Banks all off season. I just said I didn't think he was a first round talent because he's not consistent enough and he's always injured. People's used that against Jordan Tyson this entire time too. Not the talent part, but just the fact that he's not injured, he's not reliable. Here's my thing. The thing he put out today, I think that may have stopped the sliding. So now I don't know if he gets past pick 40. So you may have cheated here and got an extra good pick on me.
Maybe.
Because this may not even be possible.
Yeah, but
I am not opposed now that if Caleb Banks does fall to pick 40, I'm kind of on board with you. I think Brett Veach takes him at pick 40 if he's there. Yeah,
for sure. I think I had a hard time figuring out, like, they want Malachi Lawrence or they want Caleb Banks, and I couldn't decide, so I took them both. And I made a way, and you helped me make a way, so I appreciate that.
I'm trying to help you. I'm helping you win this battle, Steve.
Our boy Shane with the 5 bomb says that could be a reach, but Mike has called hidden wide receivers out before. Mike finds a guy, it's worth looking at him. So he has faith in you about Trey Dan Stooks. being up there in the second round. We'll see, though. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. And I do find him to be very Honey Badger-esque. I like him, too. So, I mean, it's absolutely possible. What do you got? What do you got up next?
Well, hold up just a second. Let's go to trade-in Stooks really quick. I'm just very curious. Todd McShay released his big board today. I'm curious if trade-in Stooks is on his big board. I'm not saying Todd McShay is the end-all, be-all, but he's definitely a guy with inside whatever. So I'm kind of curious to see if McShay released his final big board, where he's sitting at. Final big board. Let me see if I can bring this in.
Hold on real quick while you're doing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Paul said, what did you give up to move from 74 to 48, which is a very fair question here. And I'm trying to remember exactly. I had it written down.
You give up both. You give up a third round this year and a third round next year. And a round 5.
No, is that what I had to do? I give up pick 74, obviously. So 74 for 48. And I also gave...
You gave up next year's
pick
third.
169 in this draft.
Yeah.
And the next year third round pick that we
you got
from
from McDuffie.
So that's what made it fair.
Okay, so McShay's big board come out today, and look, I don't agree with some of this. Like Ruben Bain, number 12 player, I just don't agree with it. There's certain things like Keldrick Falk, 19. I think that's a little too high. I really do. I don't think Blake Miller's better than Monroe Freeling, so I don't take it with I don't go too crazy with it. But I'm just curious to see where he has Stooks at 36. I am telling you guys that the insiders, we're on to trade in Stooks. Everything that I've been seeing about Stooks is playing out. I'm telling you, you have to really think about that. So, look, we'll come back and figure it out.
Homework, guys. Gray Skull with a 10 bomb says, I'm so nervous I went ahead and took Friday and Saturday off for the draft weekend.
Let's go.
Love it. And I am actually off for the entirety of the draft. We're going to be live streaming the entire thing. So come hang out with us, because it's going to be the best place to be for draft coverage. Come hang out with me and Mike.
It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah. So
dude, we're doing so much draft coverage, Steve. I'm about to pass out. We ain't even started yet.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to mentally prepare for it.
It's going to be wild.
And here we are the day before it doing a live stream.
Doing more. Let's do more. Okay, so I've taken now Ruben Bain at number 1. 29 was my Caden Proctor. I was going to say my boy. He's not my boy. I don't love Caden Proctor, but it is what it is. Pick 40, trade in Stooks. Could be a reach. Could maybe not. Pick 74. Look, I'm with you. You have to go get like a Caleb Banks. You've got to do something. Brett Veach wants to double dip here. This was the best guy on my board. I went for it. Daryl Jackson Jr. out of Florida State. Look, he's massive. He is absolutely massive. Like, he is just a unit. 6'5", 328 pounds. And he had 35-inch arms, which led the entire combine. An 86-inch wingspan led the entire combine, okay? In 2025, he had a 10% true pass rush win rate, 24 stops behind the line of scrimmage, and he ended up having 14 pressures and 1 sack. Now, that's not great, but he's not in there to pressure the quarterback. That's just something that comes on certain things when he's trying to stop the run. So, look, we already know how Spags likes to do things, and every single year we all want to pick these smaller, get after it kind of guys. And last year he kind of did it with Omar Norman a lot, but that went away because he usually will take these big nose tackle types. He always tends to do it, and I think that he didn't have that last year, and he might want it back. So again, I'm going to take Daryl Jackson. You just got rid of another guy.
Could potentially be the best person for that.
Right, and you just got rid of another guy that they couldn't quit. Derek Nottie, another Florida State lineman. They couldn't quit him. They were like, look, yeah, we're replacing him.
We got Texas string with a 10 bomb. Appreciate you. It says, any interest in Tanner Koziol? He had more catches than any other tight end in D1 last year. Can be used as a big slot. He's a monster, right? He's like 6'6" or 6'7".
Yeah, Tanner Koziol is pretty monstrous. He is 6'7", 247.
Yeah, he's a big boy. I do like him. I think that if you get him, there's a string of those guys in there. Even Dallin Bentley, I'll say, probably. They're all guys that I feel like got some work to do. They got some work to do. Like, once you get outside of Kenyon Sadiq and Eli Stowers, I think you got some work to do with these kids. And it kind of just depends. Is that the route they're going to take if they decide to go tight end? I don't know. They might just be tired of that because they've already been trying to develop Noah Gray. Of course, they drafted Jared Wiley in like the 4th round.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to take another shot on mid-round guy or late-round guy and just get somebody up top. I don't know. We'll have to see how they do it. If they even address tight end, they might not. I mean,
Yeah,
they've
tight end might not
they've
be
been ignoring the
addressed.
hell out of it for the last 3 or 4 years.
Steve, this fellow's name's Texas E String. It's got to be a musician, right? The E
Oh,
String.
I didn't. Okay.
So yeah, there's things I really do like about him. He had a 46 contested catches in 2024 and 2025, led all pass catchers. So he is a monster. He's a red zone threat. I think Cozy will get drafted somewhere between late 4th and 6th, somewhere in that range. Day 3. I think he's a day 3 guy. And the only reason I think that is when I watched his film, he knows how to get open. He's like Kelsey, but in another way, he looks like he's in quicksand a lot. Like, it's just weird. I'm like, man, you got to get a little faster, but he finds himself open. So it's just, it irks me a little, but I still think he's like early day 3, mid day 3. I like him. And they said they actually used him like Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not completely convinced that they're going to address tight end in a big sort of way. And you'll see that in my mock draft. But let's go ahead. Let's move forward. Let's chug along, Michael.
Yeah, you're up. Pick 109.
Pick 109. You can pop it up there. We got Julian Neal. We addressed the cornerback position. Brett Veach plainly said there was a pocket of corners that he saw around the 3rd, 4th round, and that's where he would like to cash in. I think that he was telling the truth on that. I think Julian Neal's a guy that they've brought in. They've been very interested in. He's that boundary type guy. Big, long, fast. I think he plays physically. I think that he can play that man coverage. He can do a little bit of everything. And Julian Neal is kind of an overlooked guy. I think he could go a lot higher than 109. I think he could absolutely go a lot higher than 109.
He could.
This is kind of where we had him ranked on our big board, so I kept it right here. But I like Julian Neal. I think that's the first dart that they throw at cornerback to help alleviate some of the pressure of losing Trent McDuffie and Jalen, whatever his name was.
Jalen Watson. You've already
Jalen Watson.
You forgot about Jalen Watson so far. That's great.
No, but I think this is a guy like I said, you can put him out on the boundaries, and then if say Noel Williams pans out, right?
Yeah.
And then you have 2 guys that can play on the boundary, and then you got to figure out that slot position because I don't have any faith in Shamari Connor playing the nickel. So
yeah, that's why
I figure something out there.
I burned an entire 2nd round pick 40 on that. Just wanting to get a corner, and you know what? A slot corner, I'll take it.
When I think about Shamari Connor playing the nickel, I'm okay with taking that big.
Here's another thing. Like I was trying to get into the mind of each today with the tackle position, and I was telling myself, take your favorite at 9, or take your 4th or 5th favorite. Maybe have to move up and lose picks. And then I was debating the tackle, but I was also debating corner a lot and just wide receiver, and when I thought they would address that, and corner kept coming up for me as in Brett Veach, and this is where a lot of fans get it a little different. I think we seen that there was a lot of problems this year. We want to win like tomorrow or yesterday even. We want to win yesterday. We're drafting 2026 to fill holes this year. Brett Veach, now there are a lot of holes. He's going to have to do that to a certain degree. But I think he drafts a lot for future years. So again, you've seen last year taking maybe a little early, but he takes the corner out of California and he doesn't get to play a lot. But lo and behold, they didn't want to re-sign back McDuffie, and now he's going to be a starter, right? So, but he took him a year in advance. It seemed like we didn't even need him. We had Jalen Watson, we had Trent McDuffie. Why? And so I feel like he drafts for the future a little bit, and so I think that this is also going to preemptive strike this next pick for me. So at pick 109, I think he's drafting right now for wide receiver, not only this year, I think he could help this year, but I think this is insurance that if Xavier Worthy does not have a good year this year, he's gone. I think after 3 years, they're going to give up on Worthy. They may move him, they may do whatever. But if he don't have a big year this year and he becomes like he can't do it, I think they can move on from Xavier Worthy, and they may move on from Rashee Rice by default.
You're giving more fuel to my first pick, but go ahead.
Yeah, I am. But at number 4, 109, I'm going to take Deion Burks. The Chiefs have met with Deion Burks on 3 different occasions. They met with Deion Burks at the Combine. They met with Deion Burks. Where did they meet with Deion Burks? They met with him at his pro day. They met with him at his Combine, and somewhere else. I think that he had something
One of the
to
bowls,
do.
probably.
No, I don't think he did a bowl. But I honestly think that it's possible he could have got a top 40. But look, here's what I like about Deion Burks. I was telling people I put him in my under the radar kind of guys the other day. I think Deion Burks, I don't even know if he'll get to pick 109. I honestly think that he's getting enough steam that he could go in round 3. But round 109, round 3 ends at 100. So this is only about 9 picks late. But look, Deion Burks squats 500 pounds. He bench presses 400 pounds. He, like, this picture right here doesn't even do him justice. Like, without his uniform, like, he very much has that Tyreek Hill mold. He's got that speedster mold. And I know people don't want to quit that, but if you're going to get rid of Xavier Worthy, Brett Veach has to have somebody like that, and Andy Reid has to have somebody like that in their offense. That's just what runs their offense. And if Worthy's not doing it, they're going to start looking elsewhere. And then another guy that can speak volumes about him is DeMarco Murray, who's been there with him last year. So I think that there's somebody on the coaching staff being like, look, this kid's good. He's got a lot of heart. He can come in and do what we want to do. Like, he's going to vouch for him a little bit. And I do believe Deion Burks is quietly on the Chiefs' radar. Now, will they draft him? Look, it's a slim chance. It's a slim chance they take any of these guys. That's why if we ever hit one, it's like a big deal. Like, yeah, think about it. There's 450 eligible players, and we get like 7 picks. Like, what's the odds? Yep. And so, look, I like Deion Burks, and I think it's putting a fire under Xavier Worthy's ass, like, very much so. But also, Deion Burks can do a lot of good stuff that maybe Worthy can't do. Like, maybe he can play inside, outside. He can take carries out of the backfield. I know Worthy does all this, but Worthy's kind of got that stigma of being injured a lot now, too, going into year 3. So a lot of people think Worthy's been a bust.
When he got drafted, a lot of people were worried about his health concerns because he's so small. Right?
And this guy's got a little bit better build. Now, he has dealt with some injuries, but it's not like the nitpicky stuff that Worthy does.
Mike, we got slamming in the chat with the 5 bombs. Says the 5 Ps of drafting players: potential, position, reduction, physicals, personality, and possible 6, a police record.
That could be.
Zach Branch, where you at, buddy? And while I'll address the elephant in the room too, I said that I would have Zach Branch on this one. Well, I took it back because when I really started to try to read into things and figure out what the Chiefs were going to do, I convinced myself that they're going to get Jordan Tyson. So then we didn't need Zach Branch. We had other holes to fill. So that's kind of what happened there. But I do think he's a crazy fit with the Chiefs, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they were to go edge rusher early and stuff like that. I think Zach Branch would be their guy as far as that goes.
So in my scenario, Zach Branch was not on the board at 109. There's no way.
Yeah, he goes at, what, pick 74?
He didn't even make it to 74 for me in my scenario. He didn't do it. So that's why I took Darrell Jackson. But at the same time, I also thought Darrell Jackson, in comparison to Zach Branch, may be more beneficial to what we need rather than bringing in another small receiver, especially when you have a Deion Burks that you could grab in the next round.
Right. Yep. Well, I stayed in that pocket of cornerbacks that Brett Veach was talking about. Round 5, pick 148. He goes ahead and grabs Ephesians Prizesock. This is another guy that's very much like Julian Neal, the other guy took. So that's going to give them 2 shots at having that big, long, fast boundary cornerback that can just get out there, play physically, and do all the things that we need from the guys on the outside. That still leaves a bit of a hole at that slot position. Now, I don't think that if any of these guys had to get into the nickel, I don't think it would be a problem for them per se. So, I think if you got Noah Williams, you got Ephesians Prizesock, you got Julian Neal, that's 3 guys I feel like that can kind of help you get those boundaries taken care of. You still got Christian Fulton if he can stay healthy. When I start thinking about the slot, there are different things you can do there. And I think they actually had a guy on the team last year that would have been better at it than Shamari Connor, and I think he proved it. He just couldn't stay out there for whatever reason. Steve Spagnuolo couldn't explain, but I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking of his name right now.
You're talking about Jaden Hicks?
No.
Christian Roland Wallace?
Christian Roland Wallace.
Well,
Yeah,
Roland Wallace got injured a little bit towards the last year or the end of the year, but he did play a lot in the.
Yeah, but I think that's the two. I think that's the pocket of cornerbacks. Like some of the other possibilities in that little pocket there, or maybe a little higher, be Chandler Rivers, Charles Demings. There's like at least 3 or 4 other ones that all kind of fall into that pocket there. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, even like another, let's see, Jalen Kilgore. He's a guy that could fall into that pocket because he could definitely be like a nickel type. There's a handful that fall into that area, and I think that's what Brett Veach was talking about. Like, hey, I'm not going to spend a bunch of draft capital on, Mansour Lane or Jermod McCoy when I can get what I really want up front. And there's this pocket of cornerbacks right in the middle of the draft that are excellent. And there's not like a huge drop off from Jermod McCoy, Mansour Lane to these kids. And it's like, I don't know. To me, it seems more valuable to be able to grab what you really want up front and grab these cornerbacks in the middle of the draft. And I think that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, I don't mind your two. You chose to just double dip right in the middle of the draft. I mean,
Yep.
you've got options now because you got 2 ginormous guys, 164 and 162. So you're going to bring back the old Seattle Seahawks, like the old defense from the Seahawks eras, I guess.
The Legion of Boom or whatever they were called.
Yeah, what were they called them? The Legion of Boom. Yeah, it might have been Richard Sherman and them. Pick 148 for me. Look, I went ahead and took the chance to go ahead and double dip on the defensive tackle right here. And at pick 148, I went ahead and took Aaron Hall out of Duke. I watched his film just the other day. He is one of the last guys I've watched in this cycle. And let me just talk about him for just a minute because, dude, it was fun watching Aaron Hall. He's 6'4", 296. So he's got a lot of height at 6'4". That's something that Caleb Banks, you know what I mean? Like Caleb Banks is 6'6", I get it, but 6'4", like he's Kristen Miller height, and that is taller than Peter Woods, McDonald, Miller, Lee Hunter, Grayson Halton, you name it, taller. So now Darrell Jackson comes in at 6'5", that can stop the run. And now Aaron Hall comes in, and he's going to be a 6'4", 296 guy. You can probably put probably 10 pounds on him. He's going to be completely fine. He's a penetrating one-gapper. The Chiefs met with him a little bit at the Shrine Bowl. Now, it wasn't like publicized or anything, but from the guy that I was talking to today that was at the Shrine Bowl, he said that the Chiefs actually did talk to Aaron Hall. It wasn't like some crazy meeting, but they very much talked to him. He was a 3-star recruit coming out, and he stayed in North Carolina. He's a former basketball player, which makes him comfortable in space, and that footwork is nice. The Chiefs love going out and getting athletes like this. He's very much built like Chris Jones. He's in the vein of a Turk Wharton and Omar Norman Lott, but the problem is Omar Norman Lott is coming off a nasty knee injury. This dude brings the juice, man. He can get upfield so fast. He springs out of his stance so quickly that there were several times he was just putting centers and guards on their butts. Like he was just making it look easy sometimes. He was voted team captain. He won the Duke Teammate Award, and he has special teams experience. So this guy has got everything you want. He's got adequate play strength in the run game, but if you do double team him, you're going to move him out of there. But again, that's why he's at 296. He's going to get after the passer. Like he's another Chris Jones style guy. Like put a little bit of weight on him and see what he can do. I absolutely love Aaron Hall. He was a fun watch for me.
Were you watching Chandler Rivers tape and go, who's that guy?
I did a few times, but I never got around to it. And I finally got around to it this week. And I watched a few guys just this week, and 2 guys I watched this week. I probably watched 6 guys this week finishing. 2 out of the 6 made this final mock. That's how, and I wish I would have seen him earlier. I really do. But Aaron Hall, love him, dude. If there's any Duke football fans out there, let us know what you think about it, because I would have loved to have got to watch this kid.
Duke football fans? Really?
Yeah, is there such a thing? Or?
Yeah, are you really out there? That sounds like a myth. David Dunn over on Facebook said, thoughts on trading back. This draft is heavy with defense. There could be a lot of steals late first and early second round. I think there is a really good pocket of players right there at that area, David. So I think you're on to something with that. In this draft in particular, I think it's very top heavy for the most part. I think there are certain positions that kind of are a little deeper than others. I think cornerback's a lot deeper than a lot of the other positions. And even wide receiver could be considered a bit deeper in this draft when you really start to look at it. But trading back just doesn't seem as possible to me as Brett Veach just doing what Brett Veach does and trading up to get his guys that he wants. They have a decent amount of draft capital after all, after everything settled, all the dust settled, because there was a time when we thought there wasn't going to be enough and he was going to have to trade back. But he has plenty. He's got plenty of firepower. He's got a little bit to play with from next year if he really wants to use that third-round pick and, move up, per se, to get a Caleb Banks or something. I think that's there. So I just don't see him trading back in this draft. Now, could it happen? Absolutely. I wouldn't fall out of my chair, but I'm kind of thinking it's more of a trade-up type deal.
I did read something today, though, Steve, and I'll say this, David. I don't know if you're that far off. I certainly don't think you're wrong. I did read something today, Steve, that said that the Chiefs were they were entertaining trading back just as much as they were trading up at pick number 9. Now, I thought that was weird, too.
I have a hard time believing it, honestly.
Yeah, so we don't know what's smoke and what's not, but,
right.
I mean, honestly, if you really wanted those 3 edge rushers and they're not there, and then say you can't trade up, nobody wants to trade with you, and then, Jordan Tyson comes off the board and say Caden Proctor comes off the board and they don't really have nobody they like, maybe they do trade back. It wouldn't put it past me, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, I don't know. I think there's several ways. It always becomes early in the draft process, Steve, and I don't know if you're like this too, but with me, early in the draft process, I'll start finding guys I like, and I start wanting to make them fit the Chiefs and fit things, and I'm thinking of things, and I'm like, the Chiefs shouldn't do this, they should do this. But then it's the closer we get to the draft, we're literally one day away, we're less than 24 hours. It's I'm starting to get more open to ideas. Just yesterday, I was maybe a tackle at 9's not so bad. I'm just going to trust Brett Veach and Andy Reid. These guys have won rings. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? So I start getting a little bit softer on my convictions, and I'm like, you know what? I let them do their jobs, and I'm just a commentator, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Guys, appreciate you all being here. Do us a favor, hit the like button if you haven't. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Hang out with us throughout the draft this weekend. It's going to be fun. We're going to be covering the entire thing. It's going to be a really good time. I'm excited to see how it all plays out because this has been a crazy one, a kind of weird draft class, and it's been hard to kind of peg down to figure out what the Chiefs are wanting to do, especially in a position they're not normally in, which is picking in the top 10. Let's take a few minutes to just shout out PrizePicks for sponsoring tonight's live stream, guys. You can always get down in the description, click the link, sign up for PrizePicks, and use that code HMA. But we're going to go ahead and make a couple prize picks, Mike. Let's do that.
Yeah, look, so download the app, follow us at All Chiefed Up. You can tell our picks. It is so fun to do that. And I kind of tonight wanted to show you what I do with this. Every night before bed, I get really bored, and I'll come on here and I'll try to tell picks. Now, I can't tell picks on here, but you can on the app. I don't know how to do it on the website, so I'm still learning a little bit. You guys are learning with me. But again, use code HMA, get everything, but let's just go ahead and just pick something crazy right now. I'm going to show you what these devils mean. So it's called Demons and Goblins. If it's got a green, that means that they are going to eat this up right now. So it says he has currently Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the playoff game. He's got 3 assists and he only has to get to 5.5. So 3 more. So they're saying that he's a goblin. He's probably going to gobble that up. If you get this negative, angry demon here, they're saying 4.5 point, 2-pointers made, 4.5. So they're saying if you go more, he's likely not going to get it. So I wanted to take a look at this and see if it works. So I'm going to take Shai Gilgeous.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to get 5.5.
Right. I'm gonna take that. And you know what else I'm gonna do? Currently, Booker only has 11 points, and he's got to get to 24.5. I'm going to say he catches fire in the second half. I'm going to take my Kentucky boy, and I'm going to do it.
That's the theme here, baby. Just keep taking them Kentucky boys because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over there on that 30.5 points.
Right.
I want to go more on that.
And so let's take, he's got 17. Let's say he gets 30.5. He's
going to get 30 free throws.
And look, we picked 2 out of the 3. We picked the goblin. So let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and just throw it down here. And of course, you have to do whatever. It says max in-game projection per NBA player. So it won't let me do any more of the Shai Gilgeous. Why does it not let me do this? Do I have to pick one more player? Is that what I got to do? Let's go with Jalen Green, maybe.
Maybe you got
I'll take more.
No, you can't. You can't have two Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, I can't play two Shea. Okay, so let's take those off then. We'll just go this way.
There you go.
There we go. So let's go that. We're going to do $1 to win $4.50, and that's all we're doing. Now it's moved down to $3.50. Somebody must have done something wild. And then, yeah, man, we're just going to accept all their changes and accept the lineup, and there we go, man. It's that easy. Steve, I have fun doing it. To me, it's hilarious, and it's fun to just try it out. And again, I know it's not.
Especially
we're not
because
football people or basketball people, you know.
Right. That's what makes it tough.
But yeah, I have fun. Download the app. Play around with those goblins, baby. You'll gobble up something.
Use the code HMA. You spend. I think after your first $5 play, you get 50. So it's worth it. All right, man. Let's get back to this draft. We're very close to the end of it here. I think you got another pick right here, baby. You got pick 169 in the 5th round. You took Keyshawn Elliott.
Yeah, so I took Keyshawn Elliott. I took a linebacker. The Chiefs have met with Keyshawn Elliott a few times. I'm talking like maybe 4 or 5 times during this process. This kid is an absolute beast at the linebacker. Like, he has really, really, really good intangibles. He's got very good instincts at the linebacker position. He is my linebacker number 16, and honestly, he could probably go higher. Like, I could probably find a way to get him above, like, say, Harold Perkins or Aiden Fisher. I mean, he's got those abilities, but he's 6'1", 233. He's a zone-heavy blitzing linebacker, so he blitzes a lot. He knows how to get after the quarterback. He had a 38-inch vertical and a 125-inch broad jump. So, it's not 125 inches. It'll be 12 foot 5 inches. Sorry, I read that wrong. 7 sacks this year as a linebacker, 89 tackles, and 44 stops in the run game. Combine that with 15 pressures. This dude gets after the quarterback, and he's about the same size at, let's see, what was it, 6'1", 233? Pretty close to the size of Leo Chanel. So I think that this is a guy that the Chiefs really could look at to come in and maybe take on that role of the Leo Chanel thing. I do like Jack Kelly to do that. That's another guy that I absolutely loved. I thought about taking him here, but I went ahead and went with Keyshawn Elliott because they've met with him a few more times. I wanted to throw out some new names for you guys, talk about some new guys for you guys. And I like Keyshawn Elliott. I've watched his film. I love it. It was a fun watch. I think the kid gets all over the field, and he can get after the quarterback. It's fun.
Yeah, I think there's a big possibility that the Chiefs do address the linebacker position in this draft. I did not do it in my final mock, but there were times where I wanted to try to weasel in Jacob Rodriguez or Caleb Elam-Zor. There's a lot of good linebackers in this class. It's a very, very good linebacker class, and it's some fun ones. So I like the Keyshawn Elliott pick, man. At pick 176 of the 5th round, I got the Chiefs drafting defensive tackle Renee Conga from up the road, baby.
I love that
University
pick.
of Louisville. Renee Conga is a dog. You go watch him. He's a little bit undersized, but he'll get after it. He's a pass rusher from hell, from the interior. He plays so tough and just a high motor. And the Chiefs have been very interested in Renee Conga, okay? I actually think that getting him at pick 176 would be really good value. There's a possibility he could go higher than this.
Yeah.
A lot of people have him graded lower. Like, I've seen like PFF and stuff have him at like 200 and 206 or something on.
No, I'm starting to move him into my top 200
yeah,
easily,
guys,
man.
I just don't see it. This kid is a football player, brother. Like, I think that, like I said, Brett Veach said he wanted to get 2 defensive tackles at least in this class. I think if they were to get Caleb Banks and Renee Conga, I think that absolutely check marks that box, and just a fun player. And plus, him and Ashton Gelati could reminisce about their days at U of L.
Yeah, it's funny, dude, because Renee Conga is actually my defensive tackle number 18, and actually he could probably move up. Aaron Hall was my defensive tackle 19, so we both took a defensive tackle in that exact same range at DT 18, DT 19. And honestly, both of those guys could have moved up a little bit. I just watched their film so late, I haven't really moved that up a lot. So, man, I like your draft so far. I really do. I think we're hitting the spots that needs to be hit. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep it rolling, man.
Before you keep it rolling, Carl is just vanilla gorilla crazy in the chat. Is he talking about Peter Woods? Is it Peter Woods? Is that who he's talking about? I'm not real sure. I don't know what the nickname or what he's referring to. But if you're talking about Peter Woods, I think that
I'm lost. What are we talking about?
hey, have you not seen it?
No, I haven't been able to see it.
I don't know how you have.
Conga is so athletic. Conga and Tonga.
Oh yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, pretty sure he's talking about Peter Woods. Slamo says my dream draft: number 9 Bain, number 29 Woods, number 40 Chris Johnson. That'd be excellent. No one could be mad at that. The problem I see with it is Woods at 29. I don't think he'll last that long. I don't see it. But if he were to, that'd be killer.
Look, I'm going to say this. I've been saying this since day one. Again, everybody can come back and just destroy me if I'm wrong. I think Chris Johnson's going to go before pick 22 or 23.
That'd be wild.
I honestly think that with this new Jermod McCoy news, with all these teams thinking he might need another ACL surgery, he could go before McCoy.
Right. Mike, we got Austin over on Facebook, says whoever gets Julian Neal is going to look like a genius. He's a straight dog.
Steve grabbed him, so. No, Julian Neal's good. He really come on the scene at the Senior Bowl. He had a couple really good reps. He had a couple reps where he got burned a little bit. But I will say he fought really hard during the Senior Bowl. I like him. I think he's got good size and everything. I'm down with it. He's played good competition, too. I mean, Arkansas is playing SEC competition, so it's a little different. Now, see, that is a thing about Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, it's hard to find him matched up against really good competition. Mm-hmm. But I do believe he's so smart. He's going in the top. He's going first round, in my opinion, and from everything I'm hearing, he's going top 25. Now, I could be wrong again. I'm not trying to say anybody's right or wrong, but I guess when it comes back and I'm wrong, everybody's going to come tell me about it. But please, give me a thumbs up if I'm right. How about that?
No, that's not going to happen, and you know.
Come on.
Let's get to your next pick, brother. Round 5, pick 176, cornerback Latrell McCutcheon.
Steve, this is another guy I just watched. Me and Bro Schmo actually took him in our mock draft we did on Monday. If you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch that. It was fun with Bro Schmo because he's not a Chiefs fan. He was giving us some outside perspective. But Latrell McCutcheon is from Houston. And this dude is an absolute ball player. Like, he is a dog. And you want to know what's funny, Steve? He actually come off of the Friday Night Tykes show. Do you remember that?
No.
Dude, I just learned about this. Like, he was on a TV show called Friday Night Tykes. I don't know if it was on, like, Netflix or what, but it was following around little kids playing football. Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
He came from there. I did not know that. This kid has eat, breathed, and lived football since he was like 7, okay? But, dude, he's been all over the place. He was recruited by Alabama. He was recruited. I think he went at another place. I want to say Oklahoma. And then he found his home in Houston. He loves Houston. He was voted a team captain. He was voted best player on the team or like the most likable, something like that. Dude, he is fun. He reminds me a lot of L'Jarius Sneed. I see so much L'Jarius Sneed. Like, he will come up and he will lay you out. He is very sticky in coverage. He's got long arms. I've seen him blitz. Go back and watch a LSU game, Houston LSU. He blitzes off the corner like the way he would send McDuffie, and I'm talking he absolutely destroys that quarterback. He runs right through him. So this dude is a dog, and I think the way he's sticky and he covers – dude, he's just a prototypical Spags looking guy. Like, when I watched him, I was like, dude, this just looks like a Spags corner. And so with Jalen Watson leaving, I'm taking another guy that can get on the outside a little bit because why? I cannot trust Christian Fulton. It's that simple. I'm going to find me another outside corner here. So Latrell McCutcheon's my boy out of Houston.
Yep. I dig it. Mike, Carl was talking about Caden Barnett, the tackle from Wyoming. He's kind of been thrown around as a late draft sleeper. He's like the Mauler type, big barrel-chested kind of guy. Plays really strong. I want to say he's about 6'5", 300 and something. I can't remember, 320-ish. I have watched a little bit of him, and he is kind of that Mauler, just nasty attitude. That's why I liked Blake Miller, because he plays with that same attitude. And I think I don't know, anybody like that's always fun to watch. I love you gotta love offensive linemen that play with that attitude, right? Like, yeah. I've always liked them. I love Darian Kennard at Kentucky. I wish they could have got that to work in KC and made him a guard. Kingsley plays with that kind of mentality, and you've seen that come out of him a little bit more now that he's been moved to guard. getting a little comfortable with that position. And of course, we've seen it from Trey Smith, and it's fun. You gotta love it.
Yeah, Caden Barnett. I've switched him over to guard. I think he's going to be a guard, 6'4", 316.
Yeah.
Did he play guard?
No, he was a tackle.
No, he played right tackle. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I made the decision to move him over to my guard rankings. He's my guard number 14.
He's projected in the league as a guard, but he was a tackle in college.
Yeah, so I think he could go day 3 for sure. So rounds 5, 6, or 7. Yeah, like you said, he's kind of a mauler, man, but I think he can play gap styles, and I think he can play some zone stuff too. He moves pretty fluidly. But yeah, I moved him over. I moved him inside to guard. And that's the thing about this tackle class, Steve. There's a lot of them. Look, I think Francis Mauigoa could kick inside to guard. Yeah. I really think he can be a guard.
Spencer Fano.
I think Fano needs to be a guard. Hell, Caleb Lomu could be a guard at 60. Caleb Tiernan could be a guard. Emil Wagner could be a guard. There's a lot of guys here that could be guards, man. So it's like there's not a lot of really good high-level tackles here. So if you can get your hands on maybe 2 or 3 of them, that's about all there is. If you can find one of those 3, you might have to do it.
There are a couple of guys that could be sleepers in this draft as far as offensive line, but it is very top-heavy. It's very top-heavy.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the last pick in this draft. For me, it's round 6, pick 210. I think the Chiefs take a shot on that tight end, and I think they want to go with a guy that reminds them of our boy Travis Kelce. We got John Michael Gillenborg. He's a hometown guy. He loves the Chiefs. It's a big-time Chiefs fan. He's modeled his game after Travis Kelce. If you watch his tape, you watch him play, he plays like Travis Kelce. He's big. He catches everything. He's got that wiggle. He can get the yards after catch. He looks like he's running 2 miles an hour, but actually he's pretty quick.
He does look slow, don't he?
Just like Travis Kelce. You always wonder how no one can catch him or how he's getting getting away from this tackle or that tackle. And I see the same things with John Michael Gillenborg. Obviously, he's going to be late in this draft. He's got he's pretty raw. It's going to take a lot of work to get him to something like that. But there is a chance, because of the way he's modeled his game after Kelce and the way that he plays like him, he's got a lot of the same traits. So there's a chance that you might be able to get a Kelce light out of a John Michael Gillenborg, and that would be a great value if you were to get him at pick 210 and be able to use him at all, to be quite honest about it.
Yeah, I agree. I love that pick. I mean, he loves Travis Kelce. He loves the Chiefs. You know he's going to come in here and play hard. I don't know if the Chiefs are going to even address tight end.
And he's got the coolest name in the draft. And there's a lot of crazy.
It's a fun name. But are you even convinced that they're going to address tight end? Like, I don't know if they will, to be honest.
No, I think that's kind of why I didn't, because I was saying earlier, like, I took Jordan Tyson with the first pick. I think that's what they're going to do. I honestly believe that. But if they were to not go the Jordan Tyson route, I think Kenyon Sadiq's probably the next one on that list for me, just because of the way Brett Veach talked about non-premium position at number 9. He's a playmaker. He's an offensive weapon. He is a tight end / wide receiver. I think it's kind of like the same concept. I took Jordan Tyson because I think they're targeting him because they've tried to get that receiver in this lineup that can just get out there and make a big impact and make Patrick Mahomes' life a little bit easier, and we've not been able to do it. They've tried the second round 15 times. They tried to get Xavier Worthy at the end of the first round. Like, now you have this rare position to where you have a chance to take the best wide receiver on the board. And by saying the best wide receiver on the board in this draft, I think that's kind of a disservice to Jordan Tyson, because Jordan Tyson's been downplayed because of injuries. Just end of story. But if you can get past that, and which, the more you read into it, I don't know. It really depends from team to team, and the Chiefs don't seem like a team that really puts a whole lot of stock into that. I mean, we've seen them take guys that have a history of this stuff, for better or for worse. Right. And Jordan Tyson legit is a Jordan Jefferson type receiver. Yeah. Like, there's not many.
That was one of my first comps.
There's not many draft classes where Jordan Tyson wouldn't be the best receiver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jeremiah Smith would have come out this year. He might not have been. But, look, there's no doubt he is the best wide receiver here. My last pick 210, round 6, 210, I went ahead and took a guy named Eli Heidenreich.
Yeah.
Look, do I think we're going to get another running back? I don't know. But do I think this guy's not just a running back? He is a weapon and a wide receiver.
He's going to be a Danny Woodhead, brother.
Yeah, he's a Danny Woodhead. He's the, he's the white Danny Woodhead. That's what he is. That's just the way it rolls. And Steve, look, we know that the Chiefs are very interested in guys at Navy. Landon Robinson was another guy that we took in another mock. But I think Eli Heidenreich, especially with Chad O'Shea as your wide receiver coach, knowing that he coached Julian Edelman, Danny Woodhead.
That'd be killer.
I don't put them to do something past this. And he also goes in. Heidenreich now will team up with Deion Burks, and you're getting a lot of speed on that field again. So if Xavier Worthy can't play or Jalen Royals can't find the field, or you know what I mean? Like, you've got a lot of fun little options now where Patrick Mahomes, now you've got options that Patrick Mahomes can get out. Like, get the ball out of his hands quickly, and he don't have to hold it so long. So, look, man, I'm against, the white Danny Woodhead. He's the vanilla Julian Edelman. That's what I call him. But, I like Heidenreich here. If you put him as just a fullback, like I've seen people be like, dude, it's a fullback. Play him like a fullback. No.
He's not
like, what are you talking about? Like, this guy ain't going to lead block for nothing. But, I like Heidenreich. I think if you can get him at 210, I don't know if he even gets to 210. But he's somewhere in that 6th, 7th round range. If he was to be before, dude, if he was to go in round 5, it probably wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, it would surprise me a little bit.
Yeah. Troy says, do you think we need an edge rusher? If we do, who do you think we need? Man, we've been saying we need some edge rushers for a minute. It wasn't just this season.
2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's been an obvious hole right there. We need to get more pressure on quarterbacks.
We didn't love the pickup of Charles Omenihu. We thought that wasn't enough at the time.
No.
We were trying to get the Chiefs to trade the Vikings a couple years ago. There was a guy from the Vikings that we were trying to trade for, and he ended up going to the Titans or the Texans and becoming a monster.
Hunter.
Yeah. Do you remember us saying like, "Hey, let's make a trade with the Vikings and get Danielle Hunter before his free agency market"?
But
boy, that would worked out nicely.
Well, I think that to answer your question, if you look at our final mock drafts here, Mike took Ruben Bain with the first pick. I took Malachi Lawrence with pick 40. So that's how we're addressing the edge rusher position. David Dunn with another question says, thoughts on trading a pick for a possession receiver already in the league? Not a bad idea. I don't know if there's anybody out there that they would particularly want. I think the Chiefs are just at a position to where I think they want more than just a possession receiver. I think they want more than just guys that do one thing. I think they're looking for that dog. I think they're really looking for that wide receiver that could come in.
That's why you think Jordan Tyson's it.
Yeah, I do.
You want the alpha wide receiver. Like, you're tired of the guy that just gets pigeonholed.
100%. And I think that a lot of people see it that way, and I think the Chiefs see it that way, and they have an opportunity right now that they've not had. The last time that you heard anything about the Chiefs getting up to a top 10 and grabbing a receiver, everybody was saying that they were going to trade up and take J-Mo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And he ended up wearing a red suit to the draft.
Dude,
he was pumped,
that
would
would
have
have
play
been
for the Chiefs, and then the Lions drafted him, and he looked like he's going to cry.
Why don't we make a trade for him?
But then the Lions were good, so he didn't cry. And I don't know, it was a weird time. But
we should try to trade for him. I wonder what you got to give up to get him.
I think didn't they just re-sign him?
Maybe. I don't know.
Steve-O,
what's up, brother?
How you doing, brother? Let's see. I don't know, man. I think that both of those drafts, I guess y'all let us know in the chat. Me personally, I wouldn't be mad at either draft. And just, we could recap it just really, really fast. Mike's, you had Ruben Bain, you had Caden Proctor, you had Trey Dan Stukes, Daryl Jackson Jr., Deion Burks, Aaron Hall. Then you had Keyshawn Elliott. I love that you hit linebacker. I do think they might need to address that. Latrell McCutcheon hitting that cornerback position. Sorry, that's mine. Mike took Eli Heidenreich at the end there. I love that pick too. I think a lot of people like Eli Heidenreich. I think he's a fan favorite. Everybody thinks he's that sleeper in the draft. I think it's a great fit with Chad O'Shea, like you said. So
I think, just recapping my draft a little bit, I think that Bain, I'm fine with it. And again, you'd be ecstatic to get Caden Proctor at 29. Again, I think he could be on our radar at 9. It wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't fall out of my chair too much.
Right.
But I think for me, the Trey Dan Stukes pick,
That
A
was
lot of
little
people
bit
think that
polarizing, right?
it might be a little polarizing, but I'm telling you, if he's a quarterback of the defense and he can play that nickel position and get Jamari Conner out of it, he's well worth it. He's starting to move up a lot. I think for me, the one that kind of goes back and forth for me are the two defensive tackles. Did I choose the correct two defensive tackles, and did I choose the right time to pounce on a defensive tackle? Now, I'll tell you, I wanted to take up pick 40. I wanted to take Caleb Banks because, again, with the foot being cleared, if you don't take that as his management's trying to throw out a
Right.
smoke screen, I do believe he's a Chiefs type of player.
Big
But
time.
I just could not pass up trade in Stooks there, and that made me have to look a little bit later to get it. And then, of course, some people's not going to like Deion Burks because Deion Burks is it's kind of the same old same. I get it, but leopard don't change them spots.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you've
Thanks,
been
Austin. I
saying.
appreciate you, brother. Look,
A 10 of 10, Mike.
I would be fine with it, but I'm telling you, me and you took totally different approaches, and your draft I would be completely fine with.
Yeah, we got Jordan Tyson with pick number 9. I think they might have to trade up to around 6 to get him, and I think they will if they need to. You got Blake Miller at pick 29. Once again, this is a guy you might have to trade up a few spots to get, but
Yeah, I
they
think
are
so
gonna
too.
target him. I think he fits right into that right tackle that they need. Addressing the defensive end at pick 40 with
He's a
Malachi
dog.
Lawrence. Absolute dog. The more tape I watched of him, the more I moved him up my boards fast. Then we got Caleb Banks. Mike just talked about Caleb Banks. He slides down this board. He's there at pick 48, which I don't think he will be. But if that foot makes him fall down like people are projecting, Chiefs are going to trade back in there and nab him up real quick because they love the kid anyway. You got hitting Julian Neal in round 4 and Ephesians Prizesock in round 5, kind of getting those cornerbacks into shape because we need to definitely fill out that defensive back room. I think both of those are good boundary players that bring a lot of height, length, physicality. Then we got Renee Conga getting that second DT. I think that Brett Veach absolutely wants to get 2 defensive tackles here. Renee Conga is an absolute dog.
Can you pause on this for just 1 second? I don't want to cut you off, but U of L's equipment manager's got to do a better job at connecting the top of that
baby,
bird.
I see it.
Both
On
of
both
them,
helmets.
they're just peeling off at the horn up there.
Maybe they were made that way. They put horns on the helmet.
Hey,
You think?
horned up
Horned
up
up,
there
baby.
at U of L, right
Yeah,
up the
but
road.
no, Renee Conga's a dog. He's a guy that's going to give you pressure from the inside. He's a slept-on guy. I think that he could be a lot higher in this draft than where he's going to end up. But I think he's a great player, and the Chiefs like him. They've been doing their homework on Renee Conga. And then round 6, I went ahead and just for funsies, I grabbed John Michael Gillenborg, the Travis Kelce heir, baby. in round 6.
just for poops and laughs, we'll have a little John Michael Gillenborg out here at 210.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think we both kind of took a flower there at 210.
Carl.
Don't you? I think
Carl's
we both
my
kind of took a
dog.
flower. I think Steve cheated a little bit. He found a way to get an extra top 40 player.
Well, I actually, like when I was trying to come up with my final, I put a lot of thought into this one. I did.
Yeah.
I've kind of been back and forth on a few things. I put a lot of thought into it, and I'm trying to decipher the hieroglyphics that Brett Veach etched on the rock the other day, right?
Oh, he was etching hard.
Like what is bullshit and what is not.
Yeah.
And I tried to decipher that, and and I think
You
the
said-
best that I can with a lot of the and with a lot of the just that gut feeling kind of hunch type thing. This is what I came up with, and I just I actually called Mike and I was like, look, man, like I took on a different approach to this year's final mock draft than I have been. Normally, you try to look at the board and where you're picking, and you're like, who's available, and what do we need. Stuff like that. Have the Chiefs met with them? Just basic things. This year I took a different approach. Like at the last minute, I was like, I don't like it. I want to do it different. I have a different feeling about this one. I think I'm going to pick the guys that I think the Chiefs want, and I want to make it work. And I think the Chiefs want Jordan Tyson. I think they want Blake Miller. And when it got funky is because I called Mike, and I'm like, look, man, I think the Chiefs want Malachi Lawrence, and I think they want Caleb Banks. How can that be possible? What could they do? We came up with a trade scenario where they got to trade back up and get Caleb Banks if he fell. Now, if he doesn't fall,
It's on the premise that he falls to 48.
if he doesn't fall, then it could be a lot different. But either way, it is possible for them to get up and get the guys that they want. And that's just
Right.
a totally different approach this year. We'll see how it works out.
And I just sit and picked. I was tired after trying to figure out Steve's gymnastics. I wasn't doing it.
Yeah, Mike's like,
I just went to
"Well,
dinner and sit and picked.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I called my brother
Hey,
to
I was
get
just
some advice.
look the entire time I was having dinner. I'm just looking at my phone trying to hammer out this draft, and I was like, I can't get it, man. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I just can't get in the mind of
work,
each.
literally doing nothing but thinking about the draft. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, am I supposed to be doing something? Nah, Mike, what about this? You know, that's kind of what was going on. And yeah, man, I like it. I felt good about it. You know, like usually and I thought this year I was going to be like very indifferent on the whole thing because it's been tough to pick. It's kind of up in the air. But usually there's always like a guy or two that I feel confident about, and I didn't up until today. Like I felt confident about Caleb Banks, and I felt pretty confident about Zach Branch if that were to play out that way. But I don't know. I started feeling a lot more confident about a lot of picks today, and I just picked the guys I think that they want and made it fit.
So if Jordan Tyson they want, then theoretically they don't want Malik, or they don't want Branch, right?
No. But
Well, they can want both. They can
if
want
they
both.
had to take something
Yeah.
early besides wide receiver, they could go Branch. Our girl Brenda with a freaking 20 bomb.
Thanks, Brenda.
Says 10 for each of you. I appreciate you, Brenda.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, Brenda, you're awesome. You know that. She's an OG. Been around since day one with the ACU crew. So that's awesome. Yeah, man, it's going to be wild. We're going to be doing a lot more live streaming this weekend, guys. We're going to be on the whole damn weekend, the entirety of the NFL draft, I should say. We're going to have a lot of fun coverage. It's going to be a good time. This is where you want to be at. I know that everybody and their grandma is going to be streaming the draft. I know all of you Chiefs fans might want to watch How About Those Chiefs. You might want to watch RGR. You might want to watch KCSN. I say nay. I say you get over here with all chiefed up. Let's have a fun time. You can go check on them guys every once in a while and show your support. But you want to spend your time with all chiefed up this weekend because it's going to be the most fun place. And I truly believe that we're going to hit on some of these picks, man. I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait to watch how it all plays out because this one it's wild. It's totally wild. And it could be really interesting really fast. There could be a lot of trades in the first round. There could be a lot of guys that you think are second, third rounders that could go in the first. There could be
Possibly, yeah.
a lot of guys dropping. I think this year is pretty unpredictable, and it's going to be fun. So come hang out with us and have a good time. We got a 10 bomb from my boy Steve-O.
Let's go. Appreciate you, brother.
10 for me too.
Dude, I think the draft kicks off tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, so we'll probably get on around 7:30ish.
7 to 7:30. Get her going.
Yeah.
Fire it up. Let's go.
Fire it up. Maybe we'll get in here and play some games. We'll play a little tier maker or something. We'll say, who's going in the first round today? Let's make a little tier chart.
Well, Janae, you might as well just say you're not coming over then because that guy never gets off the internet.
Don't.
You want to watch draft coverage here, though. That's just all I got to say about it. DJ Jazzy says, when y'all broadcasting on here on the tube. Yeah, it'll be about 7 to 7:30. We'll kick off. That's Eastern time, right?
Yeah.
So 6:30.
Draft starts at
Central.
8 Eastern.
Yeah.
I don't know when the first pick goes. I don't know if it's going to come right on at like 8 and just go into the picks. The picks may start at like 8:30, but we should have some time. They're saying that it's only going to be 10 minutes per pick in round 1, and I think round 2 and 3 they sped up the picks too. So it's supposed to be a more efficient draft weekend. We'll see.
Yeah, man. We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I kind of doubt they're not putting a pitch count.
Well, we already know. You already know Mendoza's going number 1. I mean, get the graphic ready. What are we doing?
We already got the graphic ready.
Just get it ready.
To go. Ready to go, guys. We appreciate y'all being here. Do us a favor. Hit that like button on the way out. All of y'all that donated today, you guys are freaking awesome. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. It's the off season. It's getting a little sketchy. You guys are helping your boys eat, and we appreciate that. We don't overlook it. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Shout out PrizePicks for sponsoring tonight's live stream. You can go to the description, click that link, get PrizePicks, use the code HMA, play $5, get 50 with that code HMA. So that's freaking awesome, man. I'm feeling it down in my plums, Stanley.
Go.
Feeling it down in the plums. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, and we're excited to spend the weekend with you.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have fun.
We're excited, man. It's draft time. Thank God it's here.
We're going to have fun.
Before you know it, it'll be over, and we can get on with it. Football season. See y'all tomorrow.
Wow.